Namaste, namaste, and welcome to this short standing flow designed for autumn. Today, our practice is quite compact. It doesn't include any limbering, so if you are not warmed up already, please do some warming up. And you might need a block, just one, in the center of your mat. We'll have our knees on the floor very briefly, but if you like to have something to cushion your knee, then that would be good to have to hand as well. When you're ready, coming to the center of your mat, so on the long shape of your mat, and having your feet a comfortable distance apart, we're practicing Tadasana to begin. So turning the palms forward, dropping the fingertips down, lengthening through the crown of the head, and just taking a moment to maybe close the eyes or gaze gently downward. Step away from everything else going on around you in your day. Step onto your mat mentally as well as physically, carving out this time and space for yoga. Tune into your breath, just feel the breath moving, perhaps a little slower, a little deeper now that you're focusing your awareness there. Soften the features of your face. Relax your tongue and jaw. Remembering to work compassionately throughout the practice, not forcing. And keeping the body away from discomfort where possible. When you're ready, bringing the palms together at the center of your chest, lifting your chest, take your chin briefly towards your chest and give yourself a soft smile. When you're ready, raising your head, opening your eyes. We're going to step our feet nice and wide apart. The wider the better in many respects, but going to where feels good for you. And from this position in the center, lifting the chest and then folding forward into a wide-legged forward bend, taking the hands down to your block, which can be any orientation to give you lift, or to the floor if you prefer. And we're going to hang out in this forward bend just for a few moments. Relax the back of your neck. Feel your weight moving from the heels to the toes and then back again, so that you get a sense of where the most supportive place is for you, and perhaps where you feel the effect of the posture, sense of length in the legs in the most useful way. So it doesn't need to be super stretchy, shouldn't be uncomfortable. If you'd like to, you can gently soften one knee and then the other, just a little undulation here. We'll come to doing some surface squats in a moment. For those who are comfortable with the legs straight, you might like to reach your hands in front of you, draw your body forward, slightly lifted, so you're lengthening out of your the base of your hips, your tailbone, and then fold a little deeper down, maybe bringing the crown of the head towards the floor. Then from here, everybody's going to walk their hands and their blocks, if needed, over to the right foot or the right ankle. And just folding gently over that leg, feeling the difference in that sense of length in the back of the body, trying to keep the back of the neck nice and relaxed. Take a deep breath in and out. And then walking the hands back to the center, maybe doing a gentle lift and lower of the torso in the center, just to reset before walking the hands and the block, if needed, over to the left foot and ankle. And just trying to find a position where you feel that different sense of length, and you can let go of some tension in the back of the body, back of the neck. And using a touch of lift across the belly muscles, deep breath in and out, and then walking your hands back to center. We're going to bring our hands onto the blocks, and we're going to start with the right arm, doing a little twist here. So leave your left hand where it is. You can soften your knees a little if it helps here. And then raise your right elbow to the right as you look to the right, and then extend through the wrist and the fingers. And then draw your straight arm all the way back down, as if you were drawing a quarter circle around the body, or half circle, sorry. And then two more times. Right arm, elbow up, and then extend through the fingers, nice and firm in the legs and the belly muscles as you return to center with a straight arm. And then last time, bent elbow up first, then extend through the arm and the fingers, and gently release. We'll do the same thing on the other side. We're going to swap hands. Right hand remains on the block or the floor if you wish. Left elbow up, extending through the wrist and the fingers as you look to the left, and then a long straight arm as you draw that half circle back down to the ground in front of you. And then two more times, left elbow up, extend through the wrist and the fingers, and releasing. One more time, left elbow up, extend through the wrist and the fingers, releasing all the way down. Taking a moment again to gently lift the chest and then lower into your forward bend. We're going to put the fingertips on the block or the floor, turn the heels in a little, and then press into the legs to come into goddess pose or horse stance if you prefer. So here we're trying to draw the shoulder blades towards each other to open the chest, moving the elbows around the body to the sides. Hands can face in any direction that you choose, but you might like to give yourself an opportunity to wiggle through your wrists. And here we can gently ease the weight from one foot to the other, just getting a sense of switching on the muscles in the legs. When you're ready, you can come back to the center. We're going to do 3 of our releasing breaths. So breathe in, stretching arms and legs, looking up. And as you breathe out, fists come to the waist, bending the knees deeply and exhaling sharply. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Very nice. Finish by breathing in. I hope you feel like you got to let go of something. And then we're crossing the right arm over the left, just hugging the shoulders, moving the upper arms as far towards each other as we can. And here, if you can manage to do eagle arms with the backs of the hands or the palms of the hands together, you can choose that, or you can just keep the hands on the shoulders. It doesn't matter what you choose. Bending the knees deeply, again, settling your weight into your heels, firming your belly muscles, and doing 3 circles with the arms in one direction. Doesn't matter which direction you choose. When you've done your 3 circles, we're going to stand tall with the legs, relax the arms down, take the arms nice and wide, wrap the left arm over the right arm, holding onto the shoulders. If you can, just get the upper arms a little closer together, bring the backs of the hands or palms of the hands towards each other, bend the knees deeply, and then 3 circles in the opposite direction. So if you want to here, you can extend the legs when the arms come up and you're upright, and then just bend the knees as you make your circles if it's quite toughy on the legs for you. Bring your hands to the tops of the shoulders, let them come down the body. Take the arms nice and wide. We're going to turn the feet to face forward, hands onto the hips, and just gently ease the weight from one leg to the other. We're working into a surface squat. So if you're familiar with them, you might like to take your preferred option. And here, what we can do is gently ease the torso forward. So we want to eventually be a little bit lower down. For those of you who are familiar with the practice and want to practice at a more challenging level, you can reach the arms wide and try and keep your body parallel to the floor and move only with the legs, which is a very nice way to do it, really energizing for the legs. The next time your weight is over your right leg, we're going to turn to the right, put the hands down, and step the left foot back so you come into downward facing dog. And here, little rest in down dog. Really, we want to allow the crown of the head to, the back of the neck to be nice and relaxed. You can turn your head from side to side. A little firmness in the thumbs and fingertips, wiggling the knees from side to side, lifting in the belly muscles. And when you're ready, you can bring your knees down to the mat, and we'll do some waving vinyasas here, but with the knees down. So we want the hands to be quite a distance away from the knees, toes tucked under or tucked flat as you choose. Soften your buttocks back towards your heels and then press off the feet to round through the spine, firming the buttocks as the hips come forward, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other as the chest comes forward. Soften the elbows, shoulders nice and low, and then rounding through the spine to go the opposite way. We'll do one more like that, extended child's pose or puppy dog pose if you like, and then rounding through the spine, pressing off the feet, engaging the muscles in the back of the body to open the chest, and then coming back into that lovely rounded lengthened position. From here, we're tucking the toes under and coming into downward facing dog once more. We're going to give ourselves a little wiggle, and we're going to step the right foot forward. So if you need to do it a different way for yourself, that's fine. But for those of you who would like to, you can lift the right leg up, nice and long and straight, draw the knee into the chest, step the right foot forward, just turning out the left foot. We're stepping into warrior one, so we want the whole foot to be on the ground, pressing into the legs to raise the arms up and drawing the shoulders down to open the chest. Here, think about gently tucking under your tailbone, activating your legs, lifting in your belly muscles. We're going to take the right hand down to the right hip or just reach it towards the floor and reach the left arm over. So we do a nice little side bend here. And then coming back to the center, both arms up, left arm down to hip or just reach it towards the floor and doing a little side bend to this side as well. Coming back to the center, reaching the arms up, and then taking the hands behind the body. The front knee is still bent, the back leg still extended, rolling the shoulder blades towards each other, lengthening the arms, opening your chest as your hands come down towards your buttocks, and then folding forward from the hips, humble warrior, taking the head towards the inside of the right ankle, reaching the arms over the head behind you. Pressing into the feet to come upright again. We're going to release our arms and then gently turn ourselves to warrior two. So we need to make slight adjustments with the feet to be in warrior two. The hips are more turned towards the long side of the mat, but don't force them round. Just allow them to fall where they will. Taking the arms wide, reaching the fingertips away from the body. Feel that sort of breadth across the chest, gentle engagement in the upper back. And here we want, again, the legs to be nice and strong, but we're going to transfer the weight into the back leg, lifting the front toes, drawing the left arm forward, reaching both arms up, and then pretending that we're drawing a bow with that left hand. And then we come back to warrior two, normal legs, right knee bent, left leg extended. Let's do that 2 more times. Transfer the weight into the left foot, lifting the right toes, bringing the left arm forward, reach both arms up, pretend you're drawing a bow across your body, and then coming back into warrior two. Nice and strong through the legs. We do it 1 more time. Transfer the weight into the left foot, lengthening the right leg, drawing your bow, and coming back to center. From this warrior two center, we're going to reach the left hand down and the right hand up. Nice and firm in the legs, nice deep breath in through the right side of the body. And then taking the right forearm or hand to the right thigh, reaching the left arm over, extending through that side of the body. You can even bend your front knee a little deeper if you like. Firm in the legs, reaching the left hand down, moving just the torso, and reaching the right hand down, coming into extended side angle pose. 1 more time as we come up. This time, we're going to lengthen the right leg, turn in the right foot, turn to the left, take the right hand all the way down to the floor, and turning both feet to face towards what was the back of the mat. Come into a lunge pose. So now we've got the left foot forward, the right leg back. We're in a standard lunge. We're not super lungy here. We're quite upright. Proposal position, I like to call it. The back toes tucked under, something under your knee if you need it. Bring your hands to namaste in the chest. And then we're going to take the right elbow across the body towards the left thigh, Press the palms together and see if that helps your torso to rotate just a little bit more. Find a point of focus that is not moving to rest your gaze on. And if you like to, so here you can stay where you are, or you can extend through that right leg and come into the standing spinal twist. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then gently unwinding, we're going to hop the back leg in until we're upright, and then take a gentle tree pose. So inside, right foot resting on the inside of the left calf, taking the arms around the body and up, again using your point of focus, or a point of focus, softening the shoulders down and taking 3 deep breaths. From here, if you're able to, just simply fold forward in tree pose. If not, take both feet to the floor. Once you're in your forward fold, stepping your right foot back and then your left foot back and coming into downward facing dog. Giving yourself a little wiggle, softening anything that needs softening, maybe turning the head from side to side. And when you're ready, you can take your knees to the floor, or you can keep your knees off the floor for a full waving vinyasa. Either way is fine. Hips towards heels, pressing off the toes to round forward, firming the back of the body, opening the chest, and then rounding in the opposite direction. Let your breath do whatever it naturally wants to do, as long as it's flowing and not held. One more time, coming forward. Opening the chest, softening the elbows, creating a little buoyancy there, and rounding back again. And then from here, we're coming into our downward facing dog. We're going to step the left foot forward, so it doesn't matter how you get there. If you wish to, you can lift your left foot up into a 3-legged dog, and then step the left foot forward to the hands. Firm the right foot into the floor, so the whole foot's on the floor. Bent left leg, and come into warrior 1. And then here in warrior 1, we just want to adjust anything that needs adjusting so that we feel nice and strong and secure. Little tuck under of the tailbone, lift in the belly muscles, nice, strong, firm legs. Take the left hand down and reach the right arm over, gentle side stretch. Maybe it's a strong side stretch, you know. And then coming back to the center, taking the right hand down, leaning over to the right. Coming back to the center. Then taking both hands down behind the body, interlacing the fingers, rolling the shoulder blades together so that you can lengthen the arms down below the buttocks if you like, and folding forward. Front knee still bent, taking the crown of the head towards the inside of the left ankle. Nice and strong in the legs, nice and firm in the belly. When you're ready, coming all the way up again. I'm going to release the arms and turn into warrior 2, just adjusting the feet as needed so we can bring the hips towards the long side of the mat. Then here we're doing our drawing the bow warrior. So we're going to transfer the weight into the right foot, extending through the left leg, left heel on the floor, bringing the right arm forward, lifting the left arm up and pretending we're drawing a bow across our chest. And then coming back to warrior 2. Same thing again, transferring the weight into the right foot, lifting the arms, drawing the bow across the chest, and then back to warrior 2. Last one. Drawing your bow, transferring your weight, and then back to warrior 2. Becomes quite hard for the legs, quite the challenge, but it's good for strength. So from our warrior 2 position, just drawing the shoulder blades towards each other, nice and firm in the legs. Drop the right hand and lifting the left arm up, and then taking the left forearm to the left knee, reaching the right arm over, bending that knee a little bit deeper, just extending through the right side of the body. Pressing into the legs, keeping the legs the same, just moving the upper body. Beautiful open warrior pose and extended side angle pose. This time as we come up, we're lengthening the left leg, turning the whole body to take the Left hand down to the floor, turning the feet all the way to the opposite end of the mat. So we end up in our proposal position, which is a lovely lunge position. We want to be gently tucked under, tucking under the back toes, hands to the center of the chest in Namaste. Take the left elbow or upper arm to the right thigh and just pressing the palms together. See if you can ease the body around into that twist. You can stay here or you can press into the legs to extend through the left leg. Just taking a deep breath in and out here. Lovely standing spinal twist. Then we're going to unwind and gently hop that left leg in. So we're standing upright, taking the left foot to the inside of the right calf, lifting the arms up into our tree pose, finding that point of focus, that sensation of a lift through the center of the body for 3 deep breaths. And from here, folding into your forward bend, you can take your foot to the floor, but if you're able to do it with your foot in tree pose, you can. And coming into our downward facing dog for a little wiggle here, maybe a little turn of the head from side to side. And then we're going to do 2 waving vinyasas. So let the hips come towards the heels. You can do this feet on the floor, knees on the floor, round through the spine, opening the chest as the muscles of the back of the body switch on. And then coming back into extended child's pose or downward facing dog. Again, dropping hips to heels, pressing off the toes, rounding through the spine, opening the chest. And then resting back, hips to heels or downward facing dog. When you're ready, you can take a little child's pose here, toes towards each other, heels apart, and just bringing the forehead and the chest towards the floor. If you prefer to do child's pose with your knees together, please feel free. Taking a couple of longer, deeper breaths. You can turn the palms upwards if the palms, wrists feel like that would be nice. It also turns the shoulders in a different position than they normally rest in, which is quite nice. It offers an opportunity for length here. And then to finish our practice, we're going to do a little twisted child's pose. So here, we're going to tent the fingertips of the left hand, slide the right arm underneath the left shoulder, and take the right side of the head towards the floor or support it with a block, and then let the left arm also settle here. Take a couple of deeper breaths. Make your body comfortable in this position. So if you need to have your hips a little bit further forward, that's okay too. It's the twist that's really the important thing. That sense of space across the upper back. That different sensation across the arm. When you're ready, you can come back to center. We'll do maybe a little Anahata Asana in between. So knees together, reaching the hands forward, just lifting a little bit the center of the body away from the mat. And then taking the hips over the knees, but taking the chest towards the floor, maybe chin or forehead if you prefer. You can do this by pressing into the toes and doing a little undulation. Or you can simply hold for a couple of deep breaths. Sometimes in autumn, the movement's really helpful, but a little stillness is always useful too. When you're ready, you can release back to hands and knees. Take the knees wide or take the variation of child's pose you had before. And we'll settle the forehead to the floor for a moment. Then tenting the fingertips of the right hand, slide the left arm underneath, take the left shoulder, left side of the head to the floor, and then let the right elbow soften as well. Find a little stillness here as you find a deep breath, and notice that your body is coming back to its equilibrium. Your breath is not so quick anymore, your heart rate is lowering. Soften the features of your face. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Feel that space across the upper back, particularly on the left-hand side. When you're ready, you can come back to the center. Maybe settle in child's pose for a moment. This is a good time to bring the knees together and allow the arms to rest back towards the ankles and the forehead to the floor if that suits you. If this doesn't suit you, a great alternative to this is to lie all the way flat on your belly and make a pillow out of your hands and just let your heels separate slightly and the toes to fall inward. And I love doing this, particularly at the end of standing practice when the back of the body has been very active, because it really, really helps us to ground, to release all of the effort of practice, and take a few deep breaths. You can always turn your head to one side if you prefer. And as you breathe, you might feel that sensation of the breath moving in the belly. And as it moves in the belly, it kind of creates a sensation of the low back lifting, the space between the vertebrae expanding slightly, softening effort across the low back and just allowing a little spaciousness to come into that area. You can, of course, do any relaxation you wish, but whenever you're ready, returning to an upright position. So if you plan to move into relaxation from here, that's absolutely fine. Please do so. You can also rewind the video to the beginning and do the whole thing through another 2 times to each side if you like. I will leave you just with this short snippet, and I hope that you enjoy this practice, combined, of course, with the other practices that I've recorded for you. I'll see you again soon. Namaste.